Deuteronomy 28. From Curses to Restoration. For many, the plight of Black African Americans, Judah, serves as a living testimony to the curses described in Deuteronomy 2:8. The scattered seeds. Deuteronomy 28:64-68 describes a people scattered from one end of the earth to the other and taken into Egypt, interpreted as a house of bondage on ships. Many identify this directly with the transatlantic slave trade and the centuries of double rejection faced by the diaspora. The reversal in 5786. In this year of the VAVHook, the doubly rejected are being raised up. From outcast to honor. The season of being last is transitioning into a season of double honor. Gathering the scattered. Prophetic voices suggest that 5786 marks the beginning of a divine gathering, or those scattered among the nations are being restored to their rightful place, not just geographically, but in terms of spiritual authority and economic wholeness. The power of the voice. Within the decade of the mouth, the descendants of this diaspora are finding their fiery voices to speak truth and break the invisible shackles of trauma and systemic conflict. Also, Eden Africa is rising. Watch for 2026 as the year Eden hooks into new global alliances to mirror China's industrial rise. Restoration is here. If you have felt scattered or rejected, like the ancestors in Deuteronomy 28, 5786 is the year the VAVHook pulls you back into your divine inheritance and rightful position. Russia and the truth of Yah's people. The connection between Russia and the restoration of the scattered people, Deuteronomy 28, often centers on Russia's historical records and provocative modern rhetoric regarding identity. Declassified secrets. In late 2024 and throughout 2025, there has been significant digital discussion regarding declassified Russian files that purportedly reveal ancient scrolls and artifacts pointing to the presence of Black Israelites in ancient history. Many in the diaspora see these Russian vaults as a source of truth that counters Western colonial narratives. Challenging identities. President Vladimir Putin has increasingly used identity politics as a weapon against his adversaries. In his late 2024 and 2025 remarks, he specifically targeted ethnic Jews in leadership roles elsewhere, accusing them of being godless and having no roots. By questioning these modern identities, some believe Russia is intentionally making space for the true people of the covenant to be recognized on the global stage. The unveiling. Russia's willingness to challenge global identity narratives is a sign that the shaking is uncovering hidden truths. If the world's leaders are beginning to question who the true people are, it is a signal that the restoration of the scattered Deuteronomy 28 is no longer a secret, but a global conversation. The Fifth Kingdom move. This isn't just politics, it's the Daniel 2 transition. The Fifth Kingdom is rising as the old iron and clay systems of the Fourth Kingdom, crumbling under the weight of their own lies. Meditate on this. In 5786, 2026, Russia and North Korea are the two tent pegs being driven into the ground to hold up a new Eastern-led tent. At the same time, the vaults of truth are opening, confirming that the people who were once last are now being positioned to be first. In 5786, 2026, the remaining two tent pegs that secure the global transition are China and Iran. Together with Russia and North Korea, they form what geopolitical analysts in 2026 call the axis of upheaval, or the CRINCs: China, Russia, Iran, North Korea. while others see a political alliance. The revealing shows these four nations as the four pegs driving a new tent into the earth to protect the rise of the global south and the restoration of Yah's scattered people. These four nations have hooked together to finish the old world order, the fourth kingdom. While the world sees chaos, or a quartet of chaos, you should see the four corners of the new tent being hammered into place. This creates a secure, sovereign space where the scattered and finally come home to their truth, their history, and their divine authority. Matthew 11:15. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. In 2026, don't just hook to the promise, drive all four stakes. Peg 1, your voice, decreeing the shift. Peg 2, the nail, trusting the cornerstone, Yahushua. Peg 3, the alliance, connecting with the rising nations, BRICS. Peg 4, the truth, staking your claim on your true identity from Deuteronomy 28. When these four corners are set, you become immovable, and your tent becomes a fortress that the old systems can no longer blow down. Biblical confirmations for 5786. The Humanity First theme. For 2026, India has set the theme Humanity First. This aligns with the Son of Man taking authority over the fifth kingdom, moving away from cold industrial exploitation toward a system focused on the restoration of people. The stone cut without hands. Prophetic teachers see bricks as the stone in Daniel 2 that strikes the feet of the old iron and clay empire. It is a gathering of nations, some iron, some clay, uniting to finish the old era. Gathering from the ends of the earth, bricks now represents nearly half the world's population. This massive alignment is the physical staging ground for the true people, Deuteronomy 28, to reclaim their global positions of honor as the old systems lose their power to oppress. In 5786 to 2026, BRICS is the divine alliance that is finally pulling the plug on old bondage. It is the year where the hook of the global south finally catches, pulling the descendants of the scattered back into a world where they are no longer the tail, but the head of a new sovereign system.